Please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Major General Zerbonia, Colonel Pintado, Colonel Curtright, Colonel Welsh, Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence, Command Sergeant Major Guden, Command Sergeant Major Celestine, Command Sergeant Major Lake, Command Sergeant Major Levy, distinguished guests and competitors, welcome to the 2019 U.S. Army Small Arms Championships Awards Ceremony. The challenge period has ended and all scores are final. This evening, we will recognize some of the U.S. Army's finest marksmen. At this time, I would like to introduce your guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Timothy A. Guden. Command Sergeant Major Guden is a native of Medford, Wisconsin, and enlisted in the Army on July 28, 1987. He completed basic combat training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. He has served at all levels, from Brigade Command Sergeant Major to his current assignment as the Command Sergeant Major of the U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command. Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Timothy A. Guden.
Good evening. Actually, I guess yeah, it's good evening, isn't it? Yeah, it's 1800. Hey, if nobody had any fun this week, raise your hand. Did I see a hand over there?
He's Air Force.
Oh, it's Air Force. Hey, what a great day to be in the Army. Obviously, I've only been here for today. If you saw me out on the ground out there at Curling Range, that's the only part of it that I got to see. And I know that you've been at it for the whole week, and I know that you're all very happy to be able to spend your week here and to be able to shoot every day and compete and learn some skills and learn some things and pick up some trades along the way. But what a great day to be able to be a soldier and to get to shoot. There's a crowd sitting back there with their black jackets on that is responsible for taking care of you last week. Let's give them a round of applause. I'd like to say to the command team, thanks for inviting me to come and spend the day with you. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed every single bit of it. So I got a few comments to talk about. You can keep tabs. It's 1806, 34 seconds on my watch, and by 1900 I should be done. You think I'm kidding? I am. A soldier and their rifle. Even before this great nation officially stood, the heartbeat of her army was a soldier with their rifle. It was foundational then, and it's foundational now. The sounds of gunfire, explosions, chaos, confusion, and yelling. The burden of physical strain, emotional drain, and the drive of adrenaline. These are some of the elements that exist in the heart, mind, and body of a soldier experiencing combat somewhere in the world on what we know as a two-way rifle range. And the only thing that I can think of that prepares a soldier with their rifle to be the most lethal and prepared to fight in combat is places right here, just like this. In training on the one-way rifle ranges and the other training settings throughout our United States Army. Your prior successes in combat should never be sufficient enough that you rest your future on that experience alone. Continuous, tough, and realistic training is always required. To give extreme tests in training to the heart, to your mind, and to the body should never be cheapened or overlooked. We must be ready and ready all the time. We must be ready for anything that combat is going to throw at us. For we do not know when or where the next engagement will be. But if we as soldiers with our rifles have not trained for the worst, then how can we hope for the best? And if soldiers with their rifles are foundational to the Army, then quality marksmanship training must be the key ingredient. It is well-trained soldiers with their rifles that can make a formation lethal. And it is a lethal formation that can make an army look devastating in the eyes of its enemies. You all came here to be tested, to compete and to win. Regardless of the latter, you all leave here better for the experience and knowledge gained. Now, if you haven't listened to a word that I said for the past 2 minutes, listen to what I have to say right now, because this is the most important. I want you to take your gained experience, skill, and knowledge, and I want you to take it back to your soldiers. Back to your soldiers with their rifles and make them more lethal, and then some. And don't just challenge their technical and tactical skills. Challenge their hearts, challenge their minds, and challenge their bodies. You know, I get to travel around TRADOC in the Army, and I get to talk to new soldiers experiencing their initial combat training, to include those that are cadets. Where are the cadets at? Sound kind of quiet. That's good. The cadets that will be our future officers. And I hear from every single one of them, regardless of what kind of AIT track they're in, or where they're in basic training, or where they're going to college at, or what ROTC program they're at, or what year they're at in West Point. And I hear every single one of them say, this is exactly why I joined the Army, so I could do stuff like this. It's not just to shoot, but it's to learn to shoot and to be more lethal. To be well trained, to be tested, and to be a better soldier with their rifle. So, congratulations to all of you who have placed in this competition. God bless the United States, God bless the United States Army, and God bless the United States Army Marksmanship Unit. Safe travels, thank you.
Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Guden. And now for the awards. The first awards this evening will be presented by the Marketing and Engagement Brigade Commander and Command Sergeant Major, Colonel Oscar Pintado and Command Sergeant Major Stephen Lake. The U.S. Army Rifle Team Championship is an aggregate of matches 9T and 10T. During the matches, competitors engage targets from 25 to 500 yards in the standing, kneeling, and prone positions. Each team member of the second and third place teams will be presented with individual awards. Please come forward as your name is called. The third place team is Colorado Alpha. Team members are Staff Sergeant Micah Fulmer, Sergeant First Class Christopher Catlin, Sergeant Michael Kindbush, Sergeant Sane Davis.
All right, looking good.
The second place team is Army Reserve Careers Division. Team members are Staff Sergeant Rafael Puentes, Sergeant Joseph Hall, Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner, Sergeant First Class Charles Parker, Coach Sergeant Major James Maurer.
All right, looking here.
The first place team will be presented a picture plaque of the Rifle Team Championship Trophy and individual awards. The Rifle Team champions are California National Guard Bravo. Team members are Master Sergeant Philip Brock, Sergeant First Class Jonathan Garcia, Staff Sergeant Wayne Gray, Sergeant Obed Gutierrez.
Look at the one in the middle.
The U.S. Army Pistol Team Championship is an aggregate of matches 4T and 6T. During the match, competitors were required to engage targets from 10 to 35 yards from the standing, kneeling, and prone positions. Each team member of the second and third place teams will be presented with an individual award. Please come forward as your name is called. The third place team is Pennsylvania Alpha. Team members are Staff Sergeant Robert Leidick, Captain James Kistler, Chief Warrant Officer Denver Gillum. Lieutenant Colonel Philip Peters.
Look at the one in the middle like a bullseye. Good job there.
The second place team is Army Reserve Career Division. Team members are Staff Sergeant Rafael Fuentes, Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner, Sergeant Joseph Hall, Sergeant First Class Charles Parker, Coach Sergeant Major James Maurer. The first place team will be presented with a picture plaque of the Combat Pistol Team Trophy and individual trophy plaques. Please come forward as your name is called. The Pistol Team champions are Texas Army National Guard. Team members, Staff Sergeant Justice Densmore.
Go Texas!
Sergeant Tyler Green. Captain Robert Lee. Sergeant James Sendo. Coach Staff Sergeant Michael Richley. The U.S. Army Multi-Gun Team Championship is an aggregate of the individual scores from the multi-gun match 15. During the match, competitors were required to demonstrate weapons proficiency with both their primary and secondary weapons in timed, scenario-driven stages. Each team member of the second and third place teams will be presented a trophy plaque. Please come forward as your name is called. The third place team is California National Guard Alpha. Team members are Colonel Louis Milliken, Sergeant David Anderson, Staff Sergeant Henry Miller, Staff Sergeant Eric Vargas. second place team is Colorado Alpha. Team members are Sergeant Shane Davis, Sergeant First Class Christopher Catlin, Staff Sergeant Micah Fulmer, Sergeant Michael Kindbush. The first place team will be presented a picture plaque of the U.S. Army Multi-Gun Team Championship Trophy and individual trophy plaques. The Multi-Gun Team champions are First Corps. Team members are Sergeant First Class Tyler Virgin, Sergeant Ashton Foster, Staff Sergeant Nicholas Wirtz, Sergeant Logan Frost, Coach Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Lewis. The overall U.S. Army Small Arms Team Championship is an aggregate of rifle, pistol, and multi-gun team matches. The second and third place teams will receive a plaque to take back to their unit, and each member will receive individual awards. Please come forward as your team is called. The third place team is First Corps. Team members are Sergeant First Class Tyler Virgin, Sergeant Ashton Foster, Staff Sergeant Nicholas Wirtz, Sergeant Logan Frost, Coach Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Lewis. The second place team is Colorado Alpha. Team members are Staff Sergeant Micah Fulmer, Sergeant First Class Christopher Catlin, Sergeant Shane Davis, Sergeant Michael Kindbush.
Smile big this one.
The first place team will receive a large trophy plaque for display at their unit. Each member will receive an Eagle Trophy and the Chief of Staff of the Army coin. Please come forward as your name is called. The 2019 U.S. Army Small Arms Team Champions are Army Reserve Careers Division. Team members are Sergeant Joseph Hall, Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner, Staff Sergeant Rafael Fuentes, Sergeant First Class Charles Parker, Coach Sergeant Major James Maurer. Thank you, Colonel Pintado and Command Sergeant Major Lake. Lieutenant Colonel Trey Lawrence, Commander of the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit, will now present today's individual awards. We will now present the Drill Sergeant Award to the highest scoring competitor on drill status. They will receive a picture plaque of the Drill Sergeant Trophy and a TRADOC Command Sergeant Major coin. The High Drill Sergeant is Sergeant First Class Daniel Varela. Now present awards for the novice, cadet, and open categories. We will also recognize the individual pistol, rifle, and multi-gun winners. Please come forward as your name is called. The second and third place novice will receive a trophy plaque. The third place novice is Sergeant Shane Davis. The second place novice is Staff Sergeant Henry Miller. The first place novice will receive an M1 Garand service grade rifle, a picture plaque of the Novice Champion Trophy, and a Chief of Staff of the Army coin. The 2019 Novice Champion is Sergeant First Class Tyler Virgin. The second and third place cadets will receive an individual award. The third place cadet is Cadet Tai Su. The second place cadet is Cadet Victor Luanic.
All right.
The first place cadet will receive a picture plaque of the Cadet Champion Trophy and a Chief of Staff of the Army coin. The 2019 first place cadet is Cadet Brandon Sickles.
All right, got to defend your title.
Emerging.
For the open category, the second and third place competitors will receive individual awards. Please come forward as your name is called. Third place in the open category is Sergeant Jameson Nelms. Second place in the open category is Sergeant John Jordan. The winner of the open category will receive a picture plaque of the Open Champion Trophy and a Chief of Staff of the Army coin. First place in the open category is Senior Airman Gavin Rook. The U.S. Army Rifle Individual Championship is an aggregate of all individual rifle matches. Please come forward as your name is called and remain on stage. The second and third place finishers for the rifle aggregate will receive a trophy plaque. Finishing in third place is Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner. In second place is Captain Robert Lee. The overall rifle champion will be presented with a picture plaque of the U.S. Army Small Arms Rifle Championship trophy and a Sergeant Major of the Army coin. The winner of the U.S. Army Rifle Championship is Major Samuel Freeman.
Thanks, Richard. Good job.
The U.S. Army Pistol Individual Championship is an aggregate of all individual pistol matches. Please come forward as your name is called and remain on stage. The second and third place finishers will receive individual awards. In third place, Staff Sergeant Rafael Fuentes. The second place pistol finisher is Master Sergeant Matthew Smith. The overall pistol champion will be presented a picture plaque of the U.S. Army Small Arms Pistol Championship trophy and a Sergeant Major of the Army coin. The winner of the U.S. Army Pistol Championship is Sergeant Christopher Liming. Awards for the All-Army Multi-Gun Championship are presented to those competitors who displayed superb marksmanship skills with both pistol and rifle in numerous timed scenario-based events. Please come forward as your name is called and remain on stage. The second and third place competitors will receive a trophy plaque. Third place is awarded to Colonel Lewis Milliken. Finishing in second place is Sergeant First Class Tyler Virgin. The individual multi-gun champion will receive a picture plaque of the multi-gun champion trophy and a sergeant major of the Army coin. This year's individual multi-gun champion is Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner.
Yes.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence and Command Sergeant Major Levy. Today's championship awards will be presented by our guest speaker, Command Sergeant Major Timothy Guden. The Colonel Ralph Puckett Trophy for Excellence in Marksmanship is presented to the combined top novice shooter from all the rifle and pistol Excellence in Competition matches. The winner of this award will be presented with a picture plaque of the Colonel Ralph Puckett Trophy and a Sergeant Major of the Army coin. The winner of the Colonel Ralph Puckett Award is Sergeant James Sendo.
Is this good enough?
The Lieutenant General Benjamin C. Franklin Trophy for Excellence in Marksmanship is presented to the top cadet shooter having the highest combined score from all rifle and pistol excellence in competition matches. The winner of this award will be presented a picture plaque of the Lieutenant General Benjamin C. Franklin Trophy and a Chief of Staff of the Army coin. This year's winner is Cadet Brandon Sickles. The Excellence in Competition program was created in 1894 for service rifle and in 1901 for service pistol. Since its inception, 3,410 soldiers have received the Distinguished Rifleman Badge, and 1,881 soldiers have earned the Distinguished Pistol Shot Badge. The only way to earn the Distinguished Marksmanship Badge is through exceptional performance in numerous excellence in competition events. The following individuals have earned the required number of points to receive the coveted Distinguished Pistol Shot Badge. When your names are called, please come forward. Staff Sergeant Sandra Updegraff. Staff Sergeant Patrick Stuckey. Staff Sergeant Jerry Dement. Senior Airman Gavin Rook. Sergeant David Anderson. Cadet Brandon Sickles. Sergeant Tyler Green. Sergeant Jameson Nelms. And Major Jonathan Everest. I would like to add that this now makes Staff Sergeant Updegraff double distinguished.
Distinguished as a cadet? That's unbelievable.
Give him a round of applause.
The audience may remain seated during the reading of the orders. Attention to orders. Announcement is made of the following award: U.S. Army Distinguished Pistol Shot Badge for outstanding marksmanship performance with the service pistol during the 2019 United States Army Small Arms Championship Excellence in Competition match. Date, 16 March 2019. Signed, Donnie B. Phillips, Adjutant General, Fort Benning, Georgia. The following individuals have earned the required number of points to receive the coveted Distinguished Rifleman Badge. When your name is called, please come forward. Master Sergeant Glenn Worley. Staff Sergeant Eric Vargas. Lieutenant Colonel Dwayne Page. Staff Sergeant Cody Walsh. Staff Sergeant Tony Hancock. I would like to add that this now makes Staff Sergeant Hancock double distinguished.
Got a picture.
The audience may again remain seated. Attention to orders. Announcement is made of the following award. U.S. Army Distinguished Rifleman Badge for outstanding marksmanship performance with the service rifle during the 2019 United States Army Small Arms Championship Excellence in Competition match. Date, 16 March 2019. Signed, Donnie B. Phillips, Adjutant General, Fort Benning, Georgia. We will now present the awards for the U.S. Army Small Arms Championship individual winners. The U.S. Army Small Arms Championship is an aggregate of all individual matches fired during the competition. Please come forward and remain on stage as we call your name. The second and third place competitors will receive individual awards. Third place goes to Sergeant Maxim Nickerson. In second place, Staff Sergeant Justice Densmore. The overall individual winner for the 2019 U.S. Army Small Arms Championship will be presented an M1 Garand service grade rifle, a picture plaque of the U.S. Army Small Arms Championship trophy, and a Chief of Staff of the Army coin. The 2019 U.S. Army Small Arms Champion is Sergeant First Class Daniel Horner. We would now like to recognize a special member of our audience. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Larry Grace, please come forward. Mr. Grace is retiring after 43 years of service in the Vermont Army National Guard. Mr. Grace has performed in a remarkable manner by enhancing lethality, small arms marksmanship, and combat readiness of the Green Mountain Boys. Of note, he is the 1990 U.S. Army Small Arms Combat Pistol Champion. The USAMU Command Sergeant Major will present him with a Certificate of Achievement, the 1990 Small Arms Championship Bulletin, and a unit coin. We wish him the best of luck during his retirement.
So Chief Grace did not know that this was going to happen because he is a quiet professional, and he's been attending not only the active component small arm championship, but also the National Guard and Reserve components for over 30 years. And he doesn't tell anybody that. So we just wanted to recognize him in front of this audience of people who know what it means to be a champion here. So thanks again, Chief Grace.
I'd like to invite the USAMU command team back to the stage. Command Sergeant Major Levy will present Command Sergeant Major Guden with a small token of appreciation for his support to this year's competition and his leadership and support to the Army's warfighters.
Sergeant Major, on behalf of the Marketing Engagement Brigade and the Home of Champions United States Army Marksmanship Unit, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to spend it with these champions and competitors who know how important marksmanship is to be lethal on the battlefield.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Command Sergeant Major Guden. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your presence and support of the 2019 U.S. Army Small Arms Championship. It has been an excellent training event for all those who have participated. Everyone is walking away from this training event and competition a better shooter, marksmanship instructor, soldier, and most importantly, a better warfighter for the United States of America. Competitors, the arms room will open immediately after this ceremony and remain open for 1 hour. Individuals and teams can take pictures with their trophies after the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the Army song. Please be seated. I have a few additional administrative notes to make. Number one, if you received a distinguished badge today, please come forward at the conclusion of the ceremony to receive your orders. 2, Lieutenant Colonel Rogers, Colonel Marinkovich, and Master Sergeant Riviera, please return the AMU weapons to the arms room at the conclusion of the ceremony. And number 3, Sergeant First Class Morris has personal property at the arms room. Thank you, and this concludes today's ceremony.